My name is Edward Harris, and I never imagined that one day I would be insulted by the man who married my daughter, a man I once trusted to care for her. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more heartfelt stories about love, loss, and redemption. Every week, we share emotional tales that remind us how fragile trust can be, how deep pain can run, and how forgiveness can heal even the most broken hearts. Broken Heart. By subscribing, you become part of a community that believes every story, no matter how sad or tragic, carries a message of hope. Crescent moon sparkles. So hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and stay with us for the next story that will move your soul and touch your heart. I'm 65 years old. For most of my life, I built a company from the ground up, a manufacturing firm that started in my garage when I was only 25. I called it Harris Tech Industries. It wasn't glamorous, but it was mine. I poured my youth, my energy, and even my health into it. When the company became successful, I had hundreds of employees, a solid reputation, and a sense of pride that I had built something meaningful. But everything changed when I retired 5 years ago. My wife, Margaret, had passed away the year before. Her death broke me in ways I couldn't describe. She had been my partner through everything. The good years, the struggles, the endless nights I spent trying to keep the business alive. When she was gone, I no longer had the heart to continue. So I stepped down and handed over the company to a professional management team. I still own some shares, but I no longer had control. I wanted to spend the rest of my life in peace, gardening, reading, and visiting my daughter, Emily. Emily was my only child, my pride and joy. She married a man named Jason Miller, a young, ambitious executive who worked in the finance department of a large investment firm. At first, I was happy for her. Jason seemed polite, confident, and charming. He said all the right words and treated me with respect, at least in the beginning. But things changed when my health started to decline. I had developed arthritis in my knees, and my movements became slower. I had to give up driving. Emily began inviting me to stay with them, so I wouldn't be alone all the time. I didn't want to bother them, but she insisted. So I moved into their house, into the small guest room at the end of the hall. That's when I started noticing Jason's tone toward me. He wasn't cruel at first, just distant. He rarely talked to me. He always seemed busy, glued to his laptop or his phone. Whenever I tried to help around the house, he would sigh or roll his eyes. One night, I overheard him say something that cut me deeply. He was talking to Emily in the kitchen. I know you love your dad, but having him here it's hard. He's just sitting around all day. I feel like he's, well, dead weight. I froze. Dead weight. That's what he thought of me. I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but I couldn't unhear it. My chest felt heavy, and I quietly went back to my room. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept hearing those two words over and over. Dead weight. I didn't tell Emily. She was kind, and I didn't want to cause a rift in her marriage. Instead, I tried to make myself as invisible as possible. I cooked my own meals, did my own laundry, and avoided bothering them. But it didn't help. Jason's attitude only worsened. He made small, sarcastic comments whenever I was around. Little jabs that Emily didn't seem to catch. Must be nice not having to worry about work anymore. Huh, Ed? You sure you don't need a nap? Don't want to strain yourself walking to the mailbox. Each time, I just smiled politely. I refused to give him the satisfaction of seeing me upset, but inside it hurt. Then came the day everything changed. One morning, Emily told me Jason had been working on a big merger at his firm. He had been stressed for weeks, trying to impress the CEO. His company, Landon Group Holdings, was negotiating an investment partnership with a mid-sized manufacturer. The name made my heart skip. Harris Tech Industries. My company. The company I had founded 40 years ago. Jason had no idea. I didn't tell him either. I didn't want to make things awkward, but I was curious. I wondered how the company was doing under the new leadership. So, when Emily mentioned that Jason was attending a formal presentation at Harris Tech headquarters, I decided to tag along quietly. Jason wasn't happy about it. Dad, it's a corporate meeting, he said, frowning. It's not exactly a place for retirees. I know, I said gently, but I helped build that company. I'd just like to see it again. For old time's sake. He sighed, clearly annoyed. Fine. Just don't say much, okay? These meetings are important. The CEO's a big deal. I nodded, pretending not to notice his condescending tone. When we arrived at the Harris Tech building, my heart swelled with nostalgia. The company had grown so much. Glass towers, modern decor, a lobby filled with awards and photographs. And there, on the wall, was a bronze plaque. Founded by Edward Harris, 1983. Jason didn't even glance at it. He was too busy adjusting his tie and checking his reflection. We were escorted into a large conference room. Several executives were already seated, including the CEO, Laura Bennett, a sharp, confident woman in her 40s. She smiled warmly when she saw me. Mr. Harris? She said, standing up immediately. It's such an honor to see you again. Jason blinked in confusion. You know him, he asked. Laura turned to him. Of course. Everyone here knows Mr. Harris. He's a founder of Harris Tech Industries. Jason's jaw dropped. The room fell silent. All eyes turned toward me. I could see Jason's face turn pale. His confident smirk vanished, replaced by shock and embarrassment. Founder, he repeated softly. Laura smiled at me. Sir, it's been years since you stepped down, but we still use your leadership principles in our training. Your vision built this company. We wouldn't be here without you. I smiled humbly. Thank you, Laura. You've done an incredible job continuing what we started. She gestured for me to sit beside her. Please, Mr. Harris, you belong at the head of the table. Jason didn't know what to do. He awkwardly took a seat at the far end of the room, trying to avoid eye contact. Throughout the meeting, the executives discussed a potential merger. Jason was supposed to lead the presentation, but he stumbled over his words. He couldn't focus. Every time someone mentioned Mr. Harris, he winced. At one point, Laura turned to him and said, Jason, your proposal looks strong. I can see why Landon Group trusts you with this deal. Mr. Harris, what do you think? Jason's eyes widened. I cleared my throat. The numbers make sense, I said, but I'd recommend adjusting the profit-sharing ratio. Harris Tech has always valued long-term partnerships, not short-term gains. If you build trust first, profit follows naturally. Laura nodded in agreement. Exactly the philosophy you taught us years ago. The rest of the meeting went smoothly. When it ended, several executives came up to shake my hand, thanking me for what I'd built. Jason stayed silent, fidgeting with his briefcase. As we walked out, he finally spoke, his voice low. Why didn't you tell me? You were the founder? You never asked, I said calmly. Besides, I didn't think it mattered. I'm just dead weight, remember? He stopped walking. His face turned red. You heard that? Yes.